Okay. Yes, as Naomi said, my name is Carolyn Johnson, and I am a 200K with Zango. I've been with Zango since 2003, March of 2003, and one of my greatest honors was to become friends and business partners with Jim and Candy Webb in our organization, and I believe that I met Jim and Candy maybe 5 or 6 months after I came on board, and I love the experience and the background that they brought because it certainly was a benefit to me to have people in the organization that brought so much expertise and could teach me as much as they did, and have enjoyed over the years traveling and spending time with both Jim and Candy. And so I am honored to share this call, host this call with Jim Webb and our 200K premiere. So Jim, are you there so you can say a few words?
I am, Carolyn. Thank you so much for the gracious introduction. I can tell you from experience in this industry, a lot of experience, that not all network marketing companies are the same, and Zango has proven the most interesting, exciting, special company imaginable in the network marketing industry. We're getting a little background noise from somebody there. I'm not sure who it is. Maybe it's one of the speakers. But it's a privilege and a pleasure to be associated with a company like Zango, with products like ours, and with people like Carolyn Johnson and Naomi Anderson. These are folks that we work with on a daily basis, and without them, we would be nothing in Zango. So, again, it's a privilege to be a part of an organization like this with the right kind of people. Zango is going to have another good year in 2016. We're pleased to be part of that. The year's off to a good start. Some new specials coming up this month, and some continuation of previous product specials. So we're excited about the potential. And Carolyn's got a nice agenda planned for us this evening. I'm going to bounce it back to you, Carolyn. Take it and run with it.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate it. Well, thank you very much. I am excited about our guest tonight, another very dear friend and one that I met early on in the business, came into our business through Justin Brice, for those of you that remember Justin, and that was Ron and Marlene Brice, Justin's dad and Marlene, and Marlene and I have traveled the world over the last 12 years, well, even to Germany together, and it has been an honor and a privilege. And for those of you that knew Ron and Marlene before, I don't want to get emotional, but lost a very dear friend as well as a business partner when we lost Ron. But I have watched Marlene just pick up and move forward with this organization and have been so admiring of everything that you've accomplished, Marlene. And tonight I asked Marlene to come on, and she's 100K Select, and Marlene has done an incredible job of working with those in her organization that what we probably would like to say are a little more on the mature side. But a few years ago, when we started working with some of the younger teams, the millennial teams, Marlene has built a beautiful organization and has done an amazing job of balancing between two dynamically different thinking types of people, and I think has done a great job of doing that. And I've asked Marlene to share some of that. How do you balance that? How do you address people that think different than we do? And forward thinkers, those I know that keeps me on my toes. But and kind of talk about working with people that have been in your organization for a long time. So Marlene, are you there?
I'm here, and thank you, Carolyn. Thank you, Candy and Jim. I'm so honored to be on this call with you this evening. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Yes, so Marlene, we've talked a lot about how you're building your business, and you're continuing to work with people that have been in your organization for many years. you and Ron built an incredible business, and one that you've maintained and and built upon, plus some of the great younger people that we have in our business that we adore, the Kenny Cools and John Pearsons and Zach. So maybe you could take a few minutes to talk about how you balance
Okay,
your organization.
I can do that. Well, let me tell you, it's not easy, especially for me. The last 3 years have been difficult. I had to really think about it, and I had to, as you say, balance. And I was building this business with, there were 3 of us, and now there's myself. So I learned to take a deep breath and got my priorities in order. And because of the relationships that Ron and I had created over the years, and one of the reasons that I did keep going here with Zango is because I love my Zango family, and they have helped me tremendously. And then, of course, the new blood that's coming in. And you're right, Carolyn. I mean, we've got 2 or 3 different kind of, different age groups here. But I love it because it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me moving forward. And I just, it's even though I have this younger generation, it's different, but the principles are still there.
Correct.
And they want to be mentored. And they want that coaching, and they want that guidance. So it's just a matter of I don't know. It's just, I love it. It doesn't stress me out at all. In fact, it keeps me, like I said, it keeps me on my toes. Some of the things that I'll do with the younger groups, in fact, just Saturday, I believe it was, Zach Babcock had a meeting in his home, and he had quite a few guests and asked me to come in. So, before I knew this age group, I didn't even know what Zoom was or the Google Hangouts and any of that. I mean, I know Skype and all that, but this new stuff, but I'm not afraid of it. It's exciting. And I came in and, I don't get intimidated, but most of the room that were in their 30s or under, but they were serious. Because this group, this generation, I mean, they're serious. And they want, as I said, they want that guidance. They don't look at me like a little oldie. They look at us for that guidance and for maturity and for, we talk about our goals, and I'm telling you, they send them to me, and we work on accountability, and I'm there to support them. We do our 3-ways just like I do with everyone else on the team. But and also one thing I can say is the leadership. The developing leadership seems to be a little bit quicker. And when I recognize that, you've got to let them lead. They come with great ideas. They're inspiring to me. They'll come to me to ask, what do I think? Or if they do something and say, give me your honest opinion. And guess what? They want that honest opinion. They want to know if they're going in the right direction. So, it's just, it's been a real exciting learning experience for me. And as far as my other team, I love my organization. You know that, Carolyn.
I know. I always said that there was no more fun place to go and do meetings than Missouri because, wow, you guys always had the most amazing group of volunteers, and there at the hotel, the Chalet, which of course is one of my favorite little hotels to go to, and staying there on the lake and having 300 to 400 people come into a room from where you live, which is in the Branson area, and then all of the fun things we got to do after. We always had some big, huge event after the teaching and training event, and I always admired that. And so I would imagine that today, along with that type of meeting that we used to have, which was basically pretty much the only meetings we had, because we really didn't have, like you say, we had Skype, but Skype was very poor 10 years ago. You couldn't stay connected half the time, but with Fuse and Google Hangout, I mean, it just changes. Every time I turn around, somebody says, have you got this downloaded? And I go, what's that? I just got used to this one. But I would imagine that number one, Marlene, enables you to be in several cities and states in the same day and almost be sitting in their living room.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I love going to St. Louis. It's only five hours from here, 4.5, 5 hours, but I could not get there. So I was in the living room, and I was doing that. I mean, same thing with my team in Wisconsin or wherever else I'm at. All they have to do is ask. They know I'm just a text or a phone call away. And, you know, in this area here, I'm pretty excited because, you know, I talked to you about this, Carolyn, and we were talking about relationships. And to me, you know, I love what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do. And as I said, it took me a couple of years to figure it out, to balance my time, to who am I going to work with. Obviously, I'm going to spend most of my time with my builders, and of course, I leave time in there for my customers and then for recruiting because I want to lead by example. However, over the past 12, you talked about 13 years. Yeah, Carolyn and I do remember that trip to Germany, but Ron and I enrolled in March of 2004, so I'm coming up on my 12-year anniversary, and when I look back at the people in the organization, and I you know, then we used to call them consumers, well, now they're customers. But I'm going to tell you something. I've got a little gal that's going to come on here and talk for a few minutes. She's been with us, I believe, since 2008, and forgive me if I'm wrong with that number, but I think so. I've got another gentleman, all of you know him. His name is Wayne Williams. He's on the call this evening. He's been with us a long time. And I'm going to tell you about these two individuals because when I look back at this, we used to have meetings in our home, or like as Carolyn said, meetings in Missouri here. And you have people that come to the meetings and they're part of the Zango family, but not necessarily building, okay? There may not be a 5K. They might not even be a 1K, but they're always around. And why? Because they love their Zango family. They love the product. They love being with the positive, you know, like-minded people. But one thing I've learned over the years, don't ever prejudge or don't ever think that someone, maybe the timing back then was not right for them like it is today. Example with Wayne Williams. Wayne and Rosie, his beloved bride of 72 years, would come to our meetings. They would come into our living room. They would be here. They're part of the Zango family. He lost his lovely bride a little over a year ago, but I'm going to tell you something. You guys know this. He traveled to convention. He was in Vegas. He traveled to every event that he could after losing Rosie. He was up in Minnesota, I don't know how many times at Richard O'Brien's quarterlies. He also attended XBA. He has, as he calls it, friends in high places, and you're one of them, Carolyn. but the thing is, he has a passion, and he's building his goal. I know his goals, and we work on those, and we talk about them. We have usually try to meet 3 or 4 times a month. He wants to go to Mexico. That's his goal, and he's going to build it. He knows he's in his twilight years, but guess what? He's building. He's working. I'm going to bring a girl. Well, Carolyn, unless you want to ask me something else, maybe I should bring my little guest on here, and then we can go from there.
Yes, that'd be perfect.
All right. Well, I'm going to introduce you to a lovely young lady. I mean, she is as beautiful on the outside as she is on the inside. I've known her for quite some time. This gal loves life, and she is just a breath of fresh air. She loves her product. She loves Zango, but we have become, I'm going to probably say in the last probably 8 months, we have become not only business partners, but we have become dear friends. I respect her so much. I love this gal, and I'm just going to introduce you to Lisa Barton, who lives down here permanently now in Lansing, Missouri. She's going to come on and talk to us a little bit. There she is.
Okay, thank you, Marlene. Thank you, Carolyn. I'm really honored to be on this call tonight. Can you hear me?
Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm just going to start on a little journey, my Zango journey, and it was the day I ran into Zango. And I went to a BNI meeting, which is a Business Network International group that meets across the United States. There's chapters probably in most major cities. And I ran into a lady named Betty Schutte, and she held up a little fruit in her hand and a tiny brochure that said 44 reasons why you should take the mangosteen. And at the time, I was dealing with some pretty significant health issues, fibromyalgia and adrenal fatigue syndrome. And one of my best friends was a registered dietitian, and we had gone to health food stores, and I was trying all kinds of stuff at health food stores to address my issues naturally. And I wasn't having a whole lot of success, but I certainly wasn't going to go the medical route, because basically what they were telling me is all they had to offer was pain pills and antidepressants. And those really weren't options for me. I was 44 years old, and I didn't want to spend the rest of my life on medication. And that day at that BNI meeting, I ran into Zango. And I met with Betty after the meeting, and I said, well, can I get my hands on this product? And so I started on the juice. Back then, Zango only had juice. That they were just a juice company. And I started on a product that within a short period of time was restoring my health. I'm not making claims about the mangosteen or the juice product or any of that, but I'm just telling you, I know that it changed my life. And little by little, I became Lisa again, and I was liking what I saw. And I really just sold out to Zango, and I was just a user of the product, and I shared it with a lot of people, and most people looked at me like I was nuts, but I knew what it was doing for me. I became very passionate about the meal pack program when that was introduced. And I just felt led to be a part of that and participate, because Zango was a company that gave back. They weren't just about trying to help people that could afford to buy product for their own health, but they were also willing to share their product with people that would never afford to buy their product through a meal pack program. And for, I would say, 4 or 5 years, that's really what I did. I used their products. I shared their products with people, and other products came on. I tried all their products. When Elavive came on, when the vitamins came on, and I just fell in love with every one of them, because every one of them addressed something that I needed. And Ron and Marlene, like they said, they would have meetings, and they would have 200 and 300 people. And they would have someone from corporate that would come in. And I felt a part of a family. There was a relationship. I wasn't building a massive organization. It wasn't about the financial picture for me. It was about a health issue. And to say all that, I became a 1K shortly after starting in the business, because I just introduced enough people that fell in love with the product just like myself. And when all the changes came on with Marlene, when we lost Ron, that was difficult. We were a family. All of us had become a family. And the meetings stopped, and lots of things stopped. And we all grieved. We all grieved differently. And I can tell you, not being in touch with Marlene for about 8 or 9 months, allowing her to grieve and process everything she was dealing with, it was difficult for our team, but there was a big team, and we all held on to each other. And then the light shined again, and she came back on, and she really created some energy within us, and she contacted corporate. And I remember Kent Wood came down here, and we did a kickoff meeting here in Springfield, Missouri. And Marlene was ready. She stepped back out. She realized that, there was a big, huge team, a big, huge family that Zango, we were all connected. And she stepped back up, and God love her. She pressed on, and we all came back together, and the energy was recreated. And then another situation appeared, and then we lost Justin. That was another mentor of ours. And through all that, Marlene held this team together, because she was one that was willing to get on her email and send out things and saying, I'm going to have a once-a-month team call. I'm going to have a team call now every 2 weeks. And we would just all come on, and we would share different stories. And she had people that helped out on the call. She gave assignments to people. She had people find ownership in their own business. You can come on and you could lead the call and welcome the call, and then you come on and you talk about whatever your experience is. And she engaged all of us. And all of a sudden, the Brice team started to shine again. We all started to find our voice again. And I can tell you, I've been in this business 8 years. I've been a one special K. But you know what? Marlene Brice never gave up on me. It wasn't about the money and what I was doing for her organization. She loved me for where I was. Even I remember her and Ron one time asked us to do a time capsule, to send in something, and in 1 year they were going to mail it back to us, that they wouldn't even open it. But they wanted to see how we would grow as individuals, and they were always there to encourage and bring good information to us, to plug us into all of Zango Nation, whether it was Carolyn's call, Tommy's call, Sandy Cohen's call, whoever. They were always willing to share cross-line, just get on the calls, be engaged, be a part of this family. And that's what we did. And I can tell you that's what kept the Brice team together through a lot of trial and difficulty and hardship. We all learned to love on each other. And I had never built past a 1K. I was sold out to the products. But when the customer program came on, I thought, wow, most people I have in my organization, they're not builders, they're just consumers, you know? And so that gave me a new lifeblood. And then when the trip came out, when they came out with the Power of Three and introduced an opportunity to go on a trip, I set some goals, and Marlene sat down with me, and she said, so what do you want to do, Lisa? Let's map out a plan, and we did. And I started to really believe that, you know, I could do this again. I had someone that was supporting me after all that she had been through, that she was still ready to work with me. After 8 years of not doing anything in corporate America, they would have gotten rid of me a long time ago, but not Marlene. And she said, you know what, you're ready to go now, so let's go. So we sat down, we made some goals. I achieved my goals. I made the trip to Paradise, and I can tell you what it did for me as an individual is to realize, you know, when you have a support team that backs you and believes in you, you can do anything. It's not about the money. It's never been about the money. What it is we've got our hands on some amazing products that are life-giving to people, and we are in touch with some amazing 500Ks, 200Ks, 100Ks, people that are willing to invest in us. This is the second generation coming around, and I couldn't be more excited to be a part of Zango Nation. And just what I learned at being at Paradise and being able to sit down with the Collie Butlers and the Sandy Cohens and the Richard O'Briens, and not feeling like in corporate America it's like you've got to put your name on a list and say, can I talk to this, you know, to the president? No, these people sat down with me at breakfast. They sat down with me on the beach. They sat down with me in a pavilion and just said, here's how we're going to grow your business. What do you want to do, and I'll help you. And I'm sorry, I'm just excited. But that's my passion. I love this company, and I love where I'm at right now because everything is falling into place for me. And I think it's because I was willing to, you know, yes, I was just a product of the product, but I knew there was a business opportunity attached to it. It just the timing wasn't right, and now it is. So
all right,
anyone
Lisa.
out there?
All right, Lisa, you're amazing, and I just want to congratulate you and recognize you as I said before, and I want to share this because here you got a gal that just calls herself a special 1K, when in fact I told her you not only qualified for Mexico, you got your largest paycheck you ever received in Zango. You got nothing but free product bonus, but more than that, you helped someone on your team get free products. So that's what we can do with staying connected and believing in people. And Carolyn, I'm just going to turn that back to you.
Well, thank you, Marlene, and thank you, Lisa, and I guess all of this to say that sometimes I think when we get to building, we are often thinking about those people that are building fast and taking up a lot of our attention, and which is as they should. You know, it's important that we work where the people are, but and we also know that the biggest percentage of our businesses, 95, 94, 96% of our organizations have always been people that are basically just using our products, and this is long before we had the customer program. So, you know, I hope this is encouraging to you that if you have somebody in your organization that's attending meetings or showing up and not necessarily building anything, it certainly doesn't mean that the day will not come, as it did for Lisa, to turn around and go, wait a minute, it is time for me to jump on board and build something, and to know that she had the relationship with Marlene that allowed her to do that and feel comfortable, and that Marlene was with her right where she was at every step of the way. So, I love this poster that's up that says, in the end, we only regret the chances that we didn't take. And I will be forever grateful to Bob Schmidt, my cousin, for bringing me into this business and for being ready to take that chance that I wasn't sure about, that I was concerned about, that I didn't think I could do, so different than anything I'd ever done in my life before, owning my own small business and living in the corporate world. Once I got into this business, it's totally different, and I had to go to school. And I had to sit at the feet of those people like Ed and Sandy Cohen and Collie Butler and Bob Schmidt and, those people, Grace and Betty Quattlebaum, and the founders that were so patient and willing to teach. And once I became truly coachable, my business changed my life. And that is what we want for each and every person on this call. So whether you are where Lisa was for several years, that's awesome. We applaud you. We honor you. We're happy to have you. If you are, as Marlene says, one of those like some of the younger people that move much quicker because they live in a faster world, then we applaud you for that as well. And that's where we want to be, with where you're at. I want to just take the last couple minutes here because I know we are running out of time. As a matter of fact, I think we have 2 minutes left to talk about this month's specials. I'm so excited. You've all probably seen that the company extended the Eris promotion, but even a little bit better, because I think that last month, next slide please, the 3 boxes of Eris were $150. And this month, they're $140, so you actually get that 3rd box completely for free. So I love that. I love those products. If you haven't been on them, then this is the time to try it. If you are on them and you want others to try it, what a great opportunity to buy the promotion, buy 3 boxes, and get that 3rd box for free. I tell people if I was told that I could only promote 3 or 4 products of Zango's, what would they be? The collagen is by far in that top 3 or 4 products. So I love our collagen. I love what it's done for me and what I've seen it do for others, as well as the Fun Instant Eye Gel, which I love, that also has, as Dr. Templeman will share, that you can find that on the Facebook, his presentation on what the eye gel can do for you long term as well as short term, and then of course the eye renewal concentrate. So here's the different savings. You save anywhere from $80 to $50 to $90, $55. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And then on top of that, the next thing that I was extremely excited about was that they extended the duo pack of the juice. And I have had people tell me that when they got some of their customers to buy the duo pack, they started receiving calls from those customers that were using the reserve for the first time. And that they said from now on that's all they would ever drink. So because of the additional little boost it gave them. So I'm imagining that when you have health issues, that you know your body well, and those things will happen for a lot of people. I'm not sure, but I'm not claiming anything. I'm just saying that. But it does include free shipping and handling, and they will be able to, if you put this on ADP now, because last month it was just a 1-month offer, but if you put this on ADP for the $235, you can maintain, as long as this package is available, you can maintain the ADP price of $235, which is the $30 savings plus the free shipping and handling, as long as you're on ADP. So once this special is over at the end of the month, you have to be on ADP to continue to receive it at that cost. Once you go off ADP, then when you come back and want to buy it, then you will pay the regular price for it. So what an incentive for people that are drinking a lot of the juice, that need a lot of the juice, or that want to share the juice to go on. And then last but not least, we have some great exciting news about our Ageless. Now, you know, I love the Ageless. I will say that I mix my Ageless at night. I drink it with my Reload and Ignite and my Bone Health. So I very rarely have ever drank it alone. And I heat it sometimes, and sometimes I put ice in it. So I love the Ageless. I love what it does for me, and I can tell you I get a great night's sleep with it. But I know there's a lot of people that have said that they don't particularly care for the flavor, and so Zango listened, as they do, and have changed it. I'm ordering my new box of Ageless this month because I haven't tried it yet. So make sure that you try the new Ageless, and those of you that have not been on the Ageless before, this is a great time, because you didn't like the taste, it's a great time to get back on it, and I will be having Dr. Templeman come on in the next few weeks and asking him to address the Ageless for us, because I think it's been a while since we've talked about the amazing benefits of Ageless. It is on the Zango website, so make sure, or the Ageless website, but make sure that if you haven't or don't remember all the great benefits, that you do, that you check it out and watch for Dr. Templeman's next visit on our call. I want to thank everybody for being on this call. I want to thank you for getting your guests on this call and your team on this call. Our objective is to bring you different topics every week. Some will be training, some will be products, some will be business, some will be like tonight. How do you keep moving forward with those people that are part of your team? Everybody, Jim, if you would like to come in and close our call out this evening, I appreciate it, and I thank you for your time and for hosting this call with me.
Hey, listen, thanks everyone for being on the call, and let's do it again next week.
Make it your best year. Good night, and God bless everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.